Hi people, welcome to Katak Town, and in this episode we're gonna be expanding the city actually, and it's gonna be this area behind the KFC and towards the park, the beach park, right in between the KFC and the beach park. The KFC on the hill, okay, it's a build I did a long time ago, and it's gonna be an epic expansion because it's gonna be like a lot of buildings. It's gonna change the skyline of the city, the whole layout of the city a little bit, and it's gonna be building towards the hill, and that's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a lot of townhouses, and I'll explain later why. There's gonna be a lot of townhouses and mixed use, mixed zoning. It's gonna be commercial mixed with townhouses, mixed with condominiums, mixed with offices, stuff like that. So yeah, let's just get into the build, right? As you can see here, I'm plopping a lot of townhouses. Reason why I chose townhouses is I want my people to be able to live in the city, right? Right here I'm planting like a sunken park, you know, green lungs. So townhouses, yeah, I want people to be able, middle class, to be able to live in the city. They have shops around them. They don't need to just, you know, they don't need to go out, drive a car, go everywhere. You know, you can just walk to a shop, take the tram or take the bus. I mean, I've lived in an area, a suburban area before, where it's just residential, and every time you need to go to the shops, I need to grab my car, get the fuck out, right? And yeah, that's, I don't know. And now I'm living in like almost like a mixed area where I can just go down. There's a 7-Eleven, 99 speed mart. There's two 99 speed marts down there, so it's great. So it's you know, there's shop houses downstairs, and there's like a nearby village where you can get a lot of good food, street food, and I think it's a bit better for my Sims, you know. We don't want a situation where you're a big city and only either the upper class or like the lower class live in the city, right? Because only the upper class can afford it, and only the lower class will, you know, live in, you know, the more dirty parts of the city, right? We don't want an upper class at all in this town. We just want a good middle class, right? Upper middle class, lower middle class, just balance it out. That's the future for Katak Town. And as you can see here, this is like complicated. There's like parking lots on buildings. Using PO a lot to sort of like combine buildings, flats with like townhouses, with like shop houses, parking lots, and there's even grass on the parking lot. And so I want cars to park in the parking lot instead of the streets, right? Because we're gonna promote walking over here, except for handicap, of course. They can probably park on the street. Yeah, I should do more handicap parking, but regular people, just park your car in the parking lots, and you know, you just walk everywhere. There's walkability in this town. And here you know, even though this is a flat, like it looks like an old rundown flat, it's gonna have a swimming pool, right? So we're gonna provide for our people, right? No matter who you are, you're gonna get a swimming pool. I mean, it's hot out here in Malaysia, you know, get your swimming trunks on and, you know, cool yourself down in the swimming pool, which is on top of a parking lot, which is on top of shop houses and townhouses. So I want you to remember this whole concept where everything is sort of combined on top of each other, besides each other. So it's sort of like a complicated city kind of stuff. I hope you understand my English. And yeah, so that's the whole concept of this area, where we're gonna have mixed use, or mixed zoning. Instead of a green zone, it's a green zone, and a blue zone and a cyan zone all at once, and we're also gonna have offices, right? So yeah, let's say if you work in this building, you might want to live nearby and just walk, or you know, somewhere else nearby and take the tram. And here I'm changing into this new road by Plus, sort of like a quay tram road, and I'm gonna block off one lane of the road, and I'm gonna put, I think I'm gonna put, I'm using a traffic precedent manager to sort of like ban all vehicles from one lane. And I think I'm gonna put Avanias, what do you call these, planters here. So it's sort of like a divide between the road and the bicycle lanes. We're gonna have lots of bicycle lanes on the main roads, right? But the inner roads a bit smaller, so no bicycle lanes. But we're gonna have buses, right? We're gonna have buses, and these are like, I think, HDB flats from Singapore. There's a lot of HDB flats assets in the workshop. Check them out. By a few Singaporeans, I guess. I like the look of it. It's kind of like the flats in Malaysia, but nicer, I guess, because everybody lives in HDB flats, Singapore, right? And this is like a preview of the area, the first grid of the area. Have the main road, and as we get, you know, how do I say this? As we get more in depth, more inside, it's gonna be slightly taller building, right? So you have you have like layers, right? It's layering pretty much, right? Alright, so how do you like it? I mean, looks good for now, right? And we're gonna put some graffiti. Always gotta put some graffiti. And I use PO with my graffiti so I can resize the graffitis. And this is a mural, I think, just to add some texture to your city. I mean, I like graffiti, especially in Malaysia. Like the graph artists in Malaysia, come on, you guys are some of the best graffitis. You go to KL, you know, and you'll see some of the best graffitis in the world, because I've traveled around the world, and I'll say some cities, the graffitis are ugly. I gotta be honest. European cities, my apologies, probably there are cities with good graffitis, but it's just that Malaysian artists are quite good, so the standard is high. And as you can see here, we have like a basketball court on top of a parking lot and a garden down there. There's trees and shit. So it's gonna be a complicated build, and not that complicated. It's just I'm building vertically most of the time, vertically, you know. So we have, you know, all of the amenities not far from you, right? So I'm just putting these cars, dummy cars, because this parking garage is a PO, procedural object, so it doesn't function as a parking lot. So we're just gonna put some dummy cars. Total house. I like this building. I think it's an Australian building. I like the look of it. What do you call these? Brutalists? I think it's brutalism. And then we have these Cuban, South American buildings, which I'm going to use as like shop houses, and they look beautiful. I think we have these kind of buildings in Malaysia. Right in front of me, I can look at, like in the window, there's a building that kind of looks like this one, but it's not common in KL. Only certain shopping malls will have. And then we have a mixed use residential kind of on top of the Cuban buildings. Wow, it's gonna look good. I'm gonna put that JAQREL trademark colors, you know, pastel and pink, pastel green and pink, I guess. And yeah, we're gonna combine a lot of buildings together to make it full. And I'm gonna give you another preview of sort of like the area. We're gonna keep building towards the how do I say this? Behind, okay? Just take a look at this area to get an idea. Alright. And you can see the KFC there too. That's from an older build. And these are like Japanese parking lot textures, decals that I use sort of like to cover up this lane that I blocked off for the bicycle lanes. And we're gonna put some, this is by Hafiz, one of the oldest creators in the workshop for Malaysian stuff. And I love these billboards, man. Jomna MRT billboards, Grab billboards. They are really nice. And I put these steel frames behind them for some texture, I guess. Not sure if it's realistic or not, but it just gives a bit of texture. And these billboards I made myself. It's in the workshop, right? Just go to this description. And again, like I said, the whole concept, buildings on top of buildings. I found this university college building which has like a hole in the middle, so I can kind of put a road through it, right? And we're just gonna fill it up with random buildings. As you can see, yeah, we can. Yeah, it's an interesting build, I guess, with roads weaving in and out of buildings and stuff. And I'm gonna use PO to create sort of like an arch to beautify it a little bit, right? And as you can see, this is University College and we have condos nearby. So yeah, probably student housing. We're gonna work on the college university soon. It's gonna be probably a separate build where we detail this part of the town. I'm just gonna plop things first and just set things up. And maybe in the future we'll, you know, detail it a little bit more to make it look more like a university. I want like a town university, like a university inside the town, no gates and stuff, you know, kind of like in the UK sometimes. And we're gonna use these PO cubes to sort of like fill up the areas, the empty areas in the buildings, right? And yeah, as you can see here, and I also have like a wall here. I think it's by an RTW wall, if I'm not mistaken. Kinda looks Asian. And we're gonna put like a football field on the building, on the roof of the building, so people can play football with a view. You know what I'm saying? You gotta book it first though. This is a university. But yeah, we're gonna work on the university more later, I guess. Detail it a little bit more, make it more university, right? Make it look with more facilities and stuff. But it's gonna be right smack in the middle of town. And yeah, we have grass, and I'm gonna use ploppable pavement to fill up. It's sort of like a hole here. We don't want our students, you know, hiding, you know, skipping class, hiding in these holes and stuff. And this is interesting. This is from a CCP, Content Creator Pack, a modern, I forgot the name. I love these buildings because it has these sort of like holes, what do you call it, with pillars. So that's kind of like a very Asian thing where you have pillars and buildings, I don't know how to explain, corridors kind of, right? And this has, and I use this as like, so the road can go through it. So yeah, pretty much I'm building sort of like a complicated part of town where you might get lost if you don't know the way, if you don't have GPS. I haven't put like street signs yet, you know, I haven't detailed in that sense, street signs, you know, stuff like that. And this, I forgot what building this is. I think this is a Japanese building. It's gonna become sort of like gonna fill in this part of the city with a weird angle, okay? Because it has like a weird angle itself, like yeah, that, as you can see. So that kind of fits nicely, but I gotta fill up the holes. And also we're gonna have some condominiums near the highway. I don't know why. It's a Malaysian thing, condominiums, you know, sort of like acting as arches for the highway. You get me? We're probably gonna build buildings. We're gonna build the other side too soon, but not yet, right? And we're gonna have townhouses under the condominium. And again, these cubes have been great to me. I'm gonna give a shout out to these PO cubes. I forgot who made it, but these PO cubes, I'm telling you. Yo, I gotta take a drink. Just give me a minute, right? Water, the best. Alright, so these are stairs building, but I switched them to PO. Probably not gonna be that functional. Doesn't even make sense. Okay, now this. Okay, as you can see, there's a concourse prop that I put down there, and I'm gonna build like a walkway. So pretty much this walkway is, if you're taking the tram, you stop at the tram station, and you can take this walkway straight to the University College. I'm future-proofing this shit. So Like I said, the University College is gonna be built detailed later. I'm gonna do it later, not yet, but yeah, I'm gonna use this arch also as part of the walkway. So it's like a walkway that kind of weaves in and out of buildings and ends up in one of the bigger offices, and sort of like a way for students to kind of walk through to the college, right? And yeah, as you can see, it's gonna go through these condominiums, and you can see there's a bus station there, and there's a tram station nearby, right? There's a bus station there, tram station somewhere. It's sort of like an exchange between tram station and buses. The buses will cover more areas, tram station covers most of the city. And yeah, it's gonna go through here. It's gonna make like a right turn or a left turn if you're walking through it. And I'm gonna use this, one of my favorite buildings, pedestrian buildings, because it implies that there's a lift and there's also stairs inside it. Just assume there's stairs inside it. So, because if I do just stairs, then wheelchairs you can't go up, right? So yeah, I'm gonna just assume there's stairs and lifts inside that pedestrian building. And we're gonna get rid of some of these pillars, keep one of them, and yeah, this is different levels. So I'm gonna use another pedestrian building connected to another pedestrian, make it a big pedestrian building. So there's lifts, stairs that take you up, and I'm gonna use billboards to cover it up, you know. So there's 2 levels, it goes up, and then you can walk, and you can go up the hill pretty much using this pedestrian path walkway. I try not to make, yeah, and don't forget to make your fences. You don't want people jumping parkour. Well, parkour they can climb anyway, but you don't want people, you know, falling off the edge and stuff. So yeah, I don't want to do too much pedestrian walkways. I prefer to do crossings, but sometimes, you know, when you have different terrains, you know, you got to do it. You got to do them, you know, to ease stuff for the pedestrians. And I like these buildings, Australian buildings. Yeah, just check link in the descriptions to all my assets, mods, whatever. We're gonna move on to a park now, and it's sort of like a hanging rock park with like big ass rocks and stuff. Just a small park, sort of like a break. Too much urbanization. Green lung, you know what I'm saying? And we have another green lung next to the park, but this park is going to be a park where you can have a walkway and you can take an alternative route, you know, to get up the hill and stuff. I'm going to put this arch, I think. I forgot what it's called. It's a nice arch and probably a Russian asset, right? And yeah, I'm just going to be landscaping a little bit. I use a lot of these vanilla Mr. Maison trees now because, you know, they're efficient. I mean, because they're built for the vanilla game, but they look awesome. Like, they look real. So we're gonna use them a lot, especially this tree. I forgot the name of this tree. The one here, the green one. They're all green, but it's okay. I have a video about it anyway. We're gonna use these meadow grasses to beautify the park. We've already put up some fences, you know, make it fancy. Yeah. Ah, that was awful. Yeah, and we're gonna put, I like this olive tree because it has roots. I wish there were more trees with roots in the workshop, right? And I forgot the name of these flowers. I love them. One of my favorites. I've said it time and time again. One of my favorites. Because they're so understated, right? They're flowers, but they're not too, you know, too distracting. And we're gonna put some sunflowers, you know, just to, you know, make things a bit interesting for the cyclists that were cycling down there. And yeah, the tree of heaven, okay, just as our sort of like main piece in this park. And with tree anarchy, I can even play with the size of the trees and elevate it, or, you know, what's the opposite of elevate? Elevate? I don't know. Magnolias, definitely gotta have some magnolias, right? I like pink. It's one of my favorite colors. And we're just using regular paths. And just to make things interesting, we're gonna put like an art piece here, and you can guess what it is. Yeah, it's Baby Yoda, aka Grogu, whatever. yeah, just put another. I got a Baby Yoda somewhere on the other side of town, and we're gonna have another one, right? Because it just looks good, right? People, look at the people just admiring it, you know. And just to top it off, I'm gonna build this playground on a roof, just to finish it off for older people, basically. And I don't think anyone is gonna see it. But yeah, that's all for the build video, and we're gonna move on to the cinematics after this, right? So yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.